Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Bad Blood Go Home episode of Monday Night Raw, broadcast live on USA Network from the Ford Center, Evansville in Evansville, Indiana. In the main event, Braun Strowman beat Bronson Reed in a last monster standing match. Strowman was able to beat the 10 count while Seth Rollins curb-stomped Reed to prevent him from doing so. In a worked spot moments before the finish, the ring collapsed when Reed executed a suplex on Strowman.
Last monster standing, who will it be? These two colossals clashing here.
Oh man.
Oh, superplex of the big man! The whole ring just collapsed! The ring just collapsed! The ropes are gone! The ring has gone down! And both men are laid out!
World Champion Gunther finally accepted Sami Zayn's challenge for a title match on Saturday at Bad Blood and also left him laying in the ring. The Miz turned on tag team partner R-Truth during their match against the Authors of Pain, leading to a victory for AOP.
Lining up Akam. Oh, what in the world was that? What just happened? And Karrion Kross, the man with the silver tongue, is laughing right in his face.
Silver tongue, I guess the poison tongue of Karrion Kross perhaps has finally got through to the Miz.
And the Miz is just walking off, leaving his partner behind.
The Miz has been disrespected in many ways over the past couple of months. Not intentionally by R-Truth, it has to be said.
Xavier Woods pinned Rey Mysterio after removing Mysterio's mask and later in the show accidentally tripped up Kofi Kingston, leading to Kingston losing his match against Chad Gable. In other results, Judgment Day won out over the LWO in a six-man tag, and Zoe Stark pinned Lyra Valkyria. After the match, the Pure Fusion Collective attacked Valkyria until Katana Chance and Caden Carter made the save. In All Elite Wrestling news, Austin Madelson, currently known in AEW as Killswitch and formerly known as Luchasaurus, was rushed to a hospital last Friday with pneumonia in both lungs, according to a report that broke yesterday on Fightful Select and later confirmed by Wrestling Observer. Madelson's fiancée found him collapsed, his blood oxygen level was found to be below 80%, and he was reportedly just days away from permanent lung damage. He was put on oxygen with the understanding that he will need at least a month to fully recover. In ratings news, last week's SmackDown drew an audience of 1.568 million to USA Network, according to Programming Insider. That's up from the previous week's audience of 1.494 million, which was the smallest audience for a first-run SmackDown in its normal time slot. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .45, which was identical to the rating for the previous week. Later the same night, AEW Rampage drew a total audience of 276,000, according to Programming Insider. That's a loss of more than 15% from the viewership from the previous week's audience of 327,000. The 18 to 49-year-old demo rating was a .08, which was down one-third from the previous week's demo rating of .12. In injury news, Ilya Dragunov is believed to have sustained a torn ACL during his match against Gunther at Saturday's WWE house show in Columbus, Georgia, according to an announcement made during Raw. It's expected that the injury will keep Dragunov out of action for 6 to 9 months. And in some unfortunate news, Major League Baseball's all-time hit king Pete Rose has passed away at the age of 83, as was first reported yesterday by TMZ. In the world of pro wrestling, Rose is best remembered for his years-long rivalry with Kane, which began at WrestleMania 14 in 1998, when Rose took the first of several tombstones from Kane that he would take over the years. He was inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004. Best remembered as a first baseman, third baseman, and outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, he also managed the team for 6 seasons, including 3 as a player. He amassed 4,256 hits over the course of his 23-year career, breaking the record previously held by Ty Cobb. Rose was banned from Major League Baseball in 1989 due to a gambling scandal, which has prevented him from going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And before we leave you today, We'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.